This is a little demonstration of the new assembly mass property management functions in the June 2022 release of NX. So first off, a little thing about the display of the center of mass symbols. If we come in and of course turn on the mass panels here, in the options we have the ability here to display some center of mass symbols if we want. I'm going to grab the first couple here. There's one for the displayed part that'll be red, and then one for anything we select that'll be green. And so if we turn these on, you'll see there that we've got that red center of mass symbol down there at the bottom, burning through the geometry. That's the new thing, right? In previous releases, there were some times when you would do that, and it would be kind of hidden inside the shaded solid and hard to see. And so that's much nicer. Similarly, if we select that top there assembly, we can see that green CG marker there for the selected stuff burning through there on the top. So we can see those will help us see those much better than before. Let's see, next thing is the visual report for the mass status has been enhanced quite a bit. So if we come over to visual reports here, and this is the mass status visual report. Of course, there are a bunch of these, and mass status is one of many. As we execute this report, you see it's going to go and show us some things about which parts have their mass status up to date, okay, versus some that are asserted, and so forth. There actually are a whole bunch of these. If we edit this report and look at the contents of this report, the possibilities for this report, let's pull that down. There are a whole bunch of statuses available in this report. It's actually a really useful one. The new thing that we did not have in prior to this release was a bunch of these unreliable value statuses. So if there are things that are not up to date out there, the question marks in the assembly navigator, we can go and tell you exactly why, a bunch of different reasons why that may be. So that's new, and we can see that here in a second. Another interesting one that's in here is the roll-up attributes. So if you have roll-up attributes or roll-up expressions, we can tell you that those are out of date as well. But relative to this unreliable value right here, let's go back and do one of these. So if we come in, for instance, and edit this part right here, I'm going to edit it in place here, make it the work part, and let's go move a face on the inside of this right here. Let's grab like right there, and we'll just tug that down a little bit. So we're changing the geometry of the part here. That of course is going to change the mass properties as well. So if we look in the assembly navigator, it's actually down inside here. This component is the one that's actually out of date, right? And it's currently the work part, which is why it's dark. So we come back up here to the top, we'll start to see that one showing that unreliable value in there for us, right? And that's the red. So if we come back to the report here, you can see that that's done this unreliable value, and that cache not found is basically meaning it needs to be updated. And so we can do that. We can come to the mass panel in here, and we can say let's update everything. In particular, let's update that guy. Yep, that's good. And so let's come back here and rerun the report, and as we do that, we'll see that that's cleared up again there, right? So yeah, that unreliable values things useful in the visual reporting here to again examine your assembly, make sure everything's up to date, right? When you're getting ready to release, getting ready to send it to manufacturing, you can use this as a visual check and also to sift through all the parts and make sure everybody's ready to go. Okay. All right, let's turn off visual reporting here and look at the last one. So the last one is about reporting. So a couple of new things in the reporting. As we go to export mass data now, this is the one where we can come and send stuff out to the information window, or we can go export things to Excel or even CSV or JSON or XML if we want to. We'll do some stuff in Excel here right now. New option in here, one of them is material, right? This is one that was highly requested. And so we've added the ability to export the material. This is going to reach into the part, look at the solids in the part, of course, look at the solids specifically in the reference set that's getting used for mass properties. And if there's a single body in there, or if all of the bodies are the same material, then we'll report that material. If there are multiple bodies of different materials, then we'll report a multiple in there. We'll see that here in just a second. And if there are no bodies in a part, then we'll indicate that there are no bodies, just so you know that that's clean. So we can do that. The other thing I want to show you here is a concept. In the Assembly Navigator, we have the ability. For quite some time, we've had the ability to come in and configure the Assembly Navigator to go and select a part attribute, right? And we can go grab, for instance, a cost attribute here and add that in the Assembly Navigator. And when we do that, we get this cost column, for instance, over here. And we can display that in the context of the Assembly Navigator. We had lots of requests to do this same kind of thing, to allow custom attributes to be exported in the mass properties. And so we've done that. So this exact same selector we've added inside here. We can add the cost here, for instance, to the mass report. And just so we can see it a little better, I'm going to scooch it up here and put it up there next to the material. Here it comes. There we go. So when we run our report, we should see material, and then we'll see cost very close to the beginning of the report. Okay. I'm going to send this out to a temp file out here. Yep, let's do that mass report. And we'll say OK, and it'll ask me if I want to replace it. I'll say sure. And let's go ahead and say OK. So this is going to go out and do that. I'm going to tell it to go ahead and do this without saving the assembly. And so it's going to generate that report. Let me open that up. There we go. Let's bring that over. We'll take a look. So this first tab, of course, is for the overall data for the assembly. We've got a variety of stuff in there. No body in this particular part that's in there. But the per component data is the interesting one here, right? So this is the one where we've got multiple, all of the components out there and out through the assembly extended. For things here like our bolts and washers, we've got steel assigned to those in the part families actually, along with this cost attribute actually that's also in the part family out there for these guys. And then for the other components down here as well, you see we've got a variety of ones out there. No bodies here in a bunch of the assembly nodes, which is what we would expect. There are some multiples down here that have multiple bodies with different materials in them. Okay. Let's see. If you have, just for future reference, if you have a column like this that has a bunch of values in here that are numbers that it wants to, or stored as text that want it to convert to number, handy thing inside Excel actually is to grab those. You can come into the data and do this text to columns and just kind of click through it. It actually kind of by default does just what you need there to convert those to numbers. So just a little Excel tip on the way. So anyway, that's a little demonstration again of the new things in the June 2022 release for assembly mass properties. I hope that's useful to you.